Hi guys, it's Rich with Pit Lane Sim Racing. How you doing? I hope you're very well today. I thought I would take a little bit of time just to show how I plan my car upgrades within Formula 1 Manager 2022. When I'm live on Facebook Gaming, people ask me what they should upgrade, how they should approach it, when they should look at next season, and things like that. First of all, I will say that you should play the game your way. You should make mistakes. You should own those mistakes. That's what makes manager games brilliant. If you make a mistake, you have to work to improve or correct those mistakes. Don't just start a new save. If you make a mistake, own it. That's part of the fun. But let's get into it. But first of all, hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel. So we all know when we go over to the cars section, you can do cars analysis, and we can see here all the different numbers, and in the bottom left you can show the rank on grid, and here you've got basically the grid average that we're going against here, and we can see that the top speed and the low speed and the top speed there are all pretty good, but everything else is kind of middle of the road. Now, one way we can really dive into what we need to improve as a team is by changing team, right? So as AlphaTauri, you might say, let's have a look at Alpine. How do we compare against the Alpine? And as you can see, against Alpine, they've got quite a few bits that are much better, including the brake cooling, engine cooling, medium and high speed, both dirty air and clean air cornering. In quite a few places, they're better. So you could just go over to the car improvement, development, and start a new project and design something and be like, well, I'm going to be doing some cooling there. Oh, look, the suspension does cooling. Side pods does cooling, and you can just do that. But what you can do is be a little bit more efficient with how you're doing it. If you go over to your car analysis and we pick Alpine again, show rank on grid, you can actually come up here to this compare section and you can then dive even deeper into it. Now, this is a fresh save, so everything is kind of middle of the road. Once you're seasons into it, trust me, this method is going to really help you focus on what you need to be improving in season. And we can see here the chassis is a little bit worse. The front wing, it's a mixed bag. We've got better low speed, but that medium speed is a problem, as is the airflow. We can go to the rear wing, and you can compare and contrast everything, so you can really dial in. For example, the difference here on the DRS delta on the rear wing is huge. We're 15th, but AlphaTauri are 7th, so that's worth considering. We're beating them on the low speed, but that DRS delta, the difference is huge. Side pods, again, we're just worse, full stop. And there we go. Look, the underfloor, there is a massive difference in the downforce, medium speed and high speed. We're quite comparable on low speed, but this medium and high speed, there's a real issue there. And suspension, we're also quite far behind. So I would say we need to do an underfloor and a suspension as a minimum. So that really informs what you want to improve, rather than just randomly picking something. You can very much go, we are worse than one team or another in this area, and you can really focus on what you need to improve. So you can go to your car parts development and design, and we know on the underfloor it's the medium and high speed that we're struggling on. So let's give it a portion of the CFD and wind tunnel hours. Let's go and do that, and this is just for demonstration purposes. And then design focus. Now, this preset is super useful. So we can show rank on grid there. And we've got balanced, but we've got low and high speed performance. So we'll just click around on these presets. Look, the low speed, obviously, that gets improved there with optimized aerodynamics. But medium and high speed is where we're really struggling. So you might want to focus high speed. And here we're improving medium and high speed, and we're going to take a chunk out of Alpine if we do that. So Obviously, this is iterative, so you might focus your first one on the high speed, but then you might do another upgrade where you're focusing on the medium speed to bring yourself into contention there. But you're really working on the areas that you need to. And another thing you can do, you add your engineers in. The engineers shorten the amount of time that you're going to be upgrading for, designing for. But also the approach. Normal, it's just normal pace and a minimal cost. If you go rushed, then it costs more and it happens quicker, but you learn, you don't learn all that much. You will learn more, but yeah, if you go to intense, then it will cost a lot more, but you'll increase future development, like learning rate. So your future underfloors will be even better if you go intense. But as you can see, it's a lot more expensive. So that's one thing to really consider. If you go intense on it, your future projects, if you've entered a season and you've identified a real problem area, say your suspension is really bad, it will pay you to go intense on it, because then your designers get better and better as you make more improvements. So you can make that improvement. Now, an interesting one that I get asked is about next year's design. Now, the research isn't unlocked because this is a fresh save for me. But your research is for next season, okay, and next season's car. In F1 Manager 2022, you don't actually build a next season's car. Your research goes towards that. And the balance between next season's car and this season's design is up to you. It is up to you, because how is this season going versus your targets, and how is your next season's research going towards what you want to do next season? If you really want to take a step next season, or at least try to take a step, then you're going to want to do a lot of research, spend a lot of your CFD and wind tunnel hours on research for next season. And that you want to neglect this season, maybe, because maybe you've just been this season. If you're on a championship push and it was unexpected and you're okay with sacrificing next season to get this season's result, then maybe you want to carry on designing. But this kind of stuff is where the freedom of the manager game comes into it. It's your choice. But this video really is just showing you about the upgrades. But I really hope that was useful, because I'll be really honest, I didn't notice this specific analysis stuff until very recently, so it's very much worth using. I hope that's helped you. If you've got any questions or you'd like me to do videos on any other subject, please let me know down in the comments, and please do make sure you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel. But until next time, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.